Hi, everybody. How was your weekend? I hope you all had a great weekend. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me say hi to everybody. Hi, Evie, Claudia, Fire Butterfly. You're not staying, Fire Butterfly? Why? Angel Star, why are you leaving me? I'm kidding. Are you okay? I hope everything's okay. AGL, hi. Fire Butterfly. Oh, thank you. Fairlane 4, however you can use it to further your work. I'm logging off the big screen. Okay. All right. Okay. I hope you're okay, Fire Butterfly. Okay. Angel Star, Marie, Arlene, Z, Shelling, Kathleen, Carla Girl, Linax, Amy, Sarah, Z, Leah, Abron, Christy, Mama Ja, Carla Girl, Halina, Gigi, MLB, Leah, Team Messi, Taryn, Nikon Lady, Mary Ann. Hi. How's everybody? Cynthia, Audrey, Christy. How was your weekend so far? I mean, how was your weekend and how is your week so far? Hi, Marilyn, Wonder Human. How's everybody? I hope you had a great weekend. I had an okay weekend. It's been a struggle. Hi, Bang Luna. You know, but it's starting to get better. I'm like mentally, I'm starting to get better. So that's good, right? So, how are you guys? OSP, how is everybody? And I hope Fire Butterfly is okay. Evie, hi. What were you guys? Okay, so I completed, let's give others like maybe 2, 3 minutes to come on and then we'll start. But if you are a member of my Patreon, I am done uploading all the episodes of Begins Youth. So I've mentioned before that usually for paid content of actors, that's good to hear, Evie. For paid content of artists, I don't usually give it away for free just to respect the kind. That's their hustle, right? That's their living. So I try not to. But for Begins Youth, you cannot buy it anymore. So that's why I uploaded it. So if you are a member of my Patreon, then you would know that it's all the episodes are already uploaded and you can watch it if you want. So um the order peaceful rest this the week. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's a up and down kind of thing, but it's getting there. What am I saying? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So for Wayang Yonwa, watch the Begins Youth first because that kind of establishes the kind of friendship that they have or how they actually form the friendship. And then you watch and then you read the comics, the manhwa, Save Me, and then you read the notes. That's the order. And then you can, and then the other, like the music videos, the short films, all of those supplement all of those three. But the core would be those three: Begins Youth, Save Me, manhwa, and then the notes. Okay, and so for my Patreon subscribers, I'm done uploading the 12 episodes of Begins Youth. Save Me manhwa is already there, and then I'm going to upload because you also cannot buy the notes anymore. I'm going to upload the notes, a copy of the notes, but this one's complete. It incorporates all the other notes that you will find in the most beautiful moment in life, stuff like that. So, um, okay. Hi, Furia. I usually just listen and watch your channel. Do not say anything. Don't say anything about what. Okay. So just if you are a member of my Patreon, go there so you can watch the 12 episodes. That should be your first, and then the Save Me. So I hope that I know that it's a little the notes the Begins Youth is kind of a heavy thing, so it's very heavy. But if you complete the entire series all the way until the notes too, then you'll kind of have some relief. Okay. So don't worry about that. And I think my theory is that Love Yourself is a continuation of the most beautiful moment in life. So that's kind of what happened after the most beautiful moment in life. Okay. Hi. Oh, there's more now. All right. So Linax, thank you for doing that. You're welcome. I want us all to understand because it's such a beautiful story. I actually was reading something on X. Someone was complaining, like, why did they put it in an exclusive format, the platform, instead of just airing it on free TV or maybe even cable TV or whatever? I also don't know the answer to that. I have theories, but I really don't know why they did it that way. Such a beautiful series. My guess has always been that it was not intended to be the main material. I felt like it was intended to be like a prequel. And then you know how in BT21 they were religious in the first several, I'll say the first 2 years, right? They built up the characters, and then the BTS members sort of held the hand of the BT21 characters, and then they let it go. I felt that was the goal for Wayang Yonwa, to sort of allow to establish the characters in the story and then license it out. That's what I thought, the like from business perspective, that's what I thought they were trying to do. So, and that hasn't actually changed. I think that was still the original intent, to allow the story to actually grow on its own. So that's what I think. The other thing is that I do think that in the future they intend to continue it. It's just a matter of timing, you know. Yeah. Okay. Um Someone's asking, did everyone see the pics of the mansion? Yes. So I posted the pictures in Patreon. So this is a fun fact. Um I know someone who is sort of involved in the listing of that property. It's actually for sale. And you can also rent it out. And so when he initially told me that that was the mansion that BTS was staying in, I was like, okay, well, that's, you you have to show proof. Otherwise, it's just a claim. But he didn't have any pictures. So it's like, I'm not going to take pictures of them and whatever. And besides, it wasn't him who gave the key to BTS. So they gave the key to a staff member. And it was a picture of that staff member that he has. And I was like, this is like, it could be any other Korean in LA. There's absolutely no way I can make that claim. And then V posted that picture and he was like, I told you so. I said, well, there's really not much I can do about it. So, but yeah, it's a beautiful mansion. And now I kind of understand why RM and V were saying that they can actually see Jimin run to the other room. I think he went out of the main house and onto the other to the ADU, to try and go to the other room. But well, yeah. So it's a but I mean they deserve it. I mean they're BTS. So yes, they do deserve that kind of a place. Okay. I did not see the pics of the mansion. Helena, are you in my Patreon? If you are, then it's I posted it. I think on the good side, they could redo it now. um, okay, I think I'll go to Netflix. The $8 million shack, the ground were incredible. They also had some production difficulties, and I think I lost momentum. And I think lost momentum. This was way to still release it and try and experiment. Oh, for the Wayang Yunwa. Yeah, because that was like during the pandemic. So they did have yeah. So they had some delays, they had some problems. I think they did reshoot some stuff because remember there was like this protest about the names because initially, because it's kind of odd because for the Save Me manhwa and the notes, They were all using the names of BTS members in all of that. And then because of all this quote unquote protest, which was really just launched by the haters, uh, they had to change the name. So I think they did reshoot some stuff, and I think there were some actors that they had to replace and stuff. So probably it's a loss of momentum. Um, but it's such a beautiful series. It's not perfect for me, but it's a beautiful one. I still think that more than anything, it was really a strategic move. I think they intended for it to be like BT21, where you plant it and leave it and then allow it to be licensed out. I am still very much convinced that someday it's going to be staged. There will be a theater play based on that. Um, and then, yeah, I think a movie eventually. So let's see. Okay. What do you want to first talk about? We have news and updates. We have some stuff about Spotify using songs in their platforms to train their AI, and of course that includes songs of BTS. And then we have the brand power of K-pop, and then BTS just from my vault. This is a fun one. I probably would like to end there because it's just fun. As you know, I'm doing this series on YouTube where I'm going through some of the misinformation and less known information about BTS members. And so I'm going back to their old materials, their old interviews, and I'm talking like 2014, 2013, 2014, 2015. And it's so much fun because I've forgotten a lot of these things and now I'm remembering again. And just looking at their old pictures is like, oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's go to the Spotify so that it's easier. This is like the bad news. Let's go through the bad news first and then we'll end in good notes. Don't you think Big Hit has the owner of the IP did that to continue the series in another platform like Netflix? It would be great. It would be great if they can continue it to Netflix. I think if they shop it around, they definitely will find producers in the US. I think the main problem about if they go about it that way is the same problem that K-pop Demon Hunters could be experiencing. So if they want it big, they can probably get a producer in the US, right? I'm talking about Wayang Yonwa. If they want it big, they can probably get producers. They for sure someone's gonna buy it. It's BTS, people are gonna watch it. But then these people are gonna want some rights over the materials which they probably don't want to give up unless the arrangement is licensing where the production company will just license it and they'll do their own version of it. If you would remember, that's the same thing that this other publication in Japan did for Chacos, right? They bought the license, they hired or rented or bought the license, and then they created their own version. It's the same characters, sort of the same characters, sort of the same, but it's a different story. So that way, if you do it that way, then Big Hit or Hybe and BTS aren't really attached to that. Like that's not their story. It's not an official story. It's a version of that story. Um, but then the production company in the US wouldn't like that because then it's not an official version of the story. But so far, that has been like the cadence of Big Hit and Hype on how they work with their IPs and licenses. They would always just license it out, giving the other party the rights to use it and sell it and make money out of it, but it's never like an official version. So maybe that's the issue. They're going to have to wait until they find the perfect partner to do it with. They have the money to actually do it. Um let's see. But that's just my speculation. Um, Jean, we're talking about Wayang Yonwa. Okay, let's start with Spotify. So there's been talks about Spotify changing their terms of service, their TOS. So if you are a Spotify user, or actually any kind of platform for that matter, there's terms and conditions, right? The agreement that you sign. You don't really read it, but there's no way that you can use the platform unless you agree to it. So um, So you just sort of sign it. Now there has been some talk about Spotify actually changing their terms of service that would allow them to use any song uploaded in their platform for AI. Okay. So that's the big issue. Um, Also, there is, so Spotify starting yesterday, they are going to publish the um the pre-save count of the songs and albums that are being released, right? So we used to not know. Now they're going to publish it. So they're going to say like, okay, for this, for proof of BTS, it was pre-saved this many times. Okay. So more ways to get into the conversation. So they rolled that out yesterday. And then today, Pop Base listed the top 10 most pre-saved album on Spotify currently. So it's The Life of a Showgirl, 5.55, Deadbeat, Everybody Scream, Anthology, Blue, Bully, and The Mountain. So these are all pre-saved albums. So that means that for BTS, if we want to be number one, we're going to have to hit like 7 million. Okay. So, but they're starting to do it. Okay. Yes, Jimin is going to Dior. I can't believe this actually. I didn't want to get my hopes up, so I wasn't really waiting. And then there's this one YouTube channel who started doing the airport countdown. I was like, there's just one channel. And then all the others followed. So I guess it's true. Okay, so this is very strategic of Spotify because it's going to fuel conversation, right? Because now fans have more reasons to compete on Spotify. So now the target is to actually surpass this, to be number 1 or at least to be in the top 10, right? So more reasons for people to talk about their platform, and also giving the fans more reason to sign up on their platform. All right. So it's more than anything a business move. All right. So now going back to the terms and conditions. So this is the terms of service that people are talking about. In the terms of service, if you read it, there's a clause that says, accordingly, you hereby grant Spotify a non exclusive, transferable, sub licensed, royalty free, fully paid, irrevocable worldwide license to reproduce, make available, perform and display, translate, modify, create derivative works from, distribute, and otherwise use any such user content through any medium. Okay, that's a mouthful. Now, a lot of people are interpreting this as Spotify getting the rights to use the songs on their platform any way they want. And that includes training their platform for AI. So their claim is that Spotify is going to eventually create their own songs out of AI. And AI is going to learn from their database what kind of songs actually make it big. Okay. All right. So that is the contention. Now, do remember though that a lot of the terms and conditions nobody really reads. The truth is that that type of wording has been there since, I don't know, 6 years ago. so so it's nothing new. They didn't just change it. It has always been there. It's just that people don't read the terms of service. Okay. Now, admittedly, it is very ambiguous because the wording sort of grants them the all types of power to use the content on their website. Imagine non-exclusive, transferable, sub-licensable, royalty-free, fully paid, irrevocable, worldwide license to reproduce, make available, perform and display and translate, modify, create derivative works from, distribute and otherwise use any such user content through any medium. Right? So it seems like they have all the rights to do whatever it is that they want using whatever is on their platform. Okay, so the language in the posted picture it's a standard, however, on any platform. Any platform where users post content, the platform will request license to use and reproduce your work. So if you have, for example, a social media account and you're posting, you're creating your own content, like for this one, for this live stream on YouTube, YouTube actually has the right to use this to do all of the things that Spotify mentioned here. So they can create derivatives out of this work, out of this live stream, out of my image. They can distribute it. They can alter this content and all the other content that I created. And that is true not just for YouTube, but any social media platform. Okay. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is thinking that if you have a social media account, it is yours. It isn't. Your social media account belongs to the platform, and any content that you upload there belongs to them. Okay. However, there is a slippery slope when it comes to Spotify. Because remember, for social media content, like for example, for YouTube, this content I created and just uploaded. Aside from standard filtering, they just allow you to upload whatever it is that you want to upload. Okay. In this one, it's a little different because the content that is being uploaded on Spotify is actually uploaded by a distributor, not by the singer itself. Remember, they have distributors. You can't upload your own music in Spotify. You need a distributor. So the songs aren't actually owned by the singers, it's owned by the distributor. Okay. So reproduce in this context means to replay the song. Remember, this wording has been there since, I don't know, 6 years ago. And during that time, the context was that you are allowing them to replay the song or play the song or loop the song to those that actually want to listen to your music. And they need to put that in writing. Otherwise, they won't be able to allow the playing of your song unless it is you permit it every time it is being played. So this is sort of a blanket statement that allows them to replay the song. It's an old term that was first used during the time of phonograph records, replay. Okay? All right, that's clear. But it's not done yet. Next, creating derivatives could also mean they are retaining the right to augment your music to fit the normal core functionality. So sometimes there are technical requirements that they need to meet, and they are reserving the right to alter your content to fit their technical specification. And you have to allow them to do it. Otherwise, they won't be able to play your song. So, for example, if files need to be compressed, this language gives them the right to do that. Okay, so that's second thing. Third, create derivatives. Derivative works from would mean using your content for Spotify advertising, promotional content, transcripts of lyrics for subtitles, and lyrics feature. So again, just like YouTube, if they want to create a promotional video, they can use any of my video to do that. And when I signed as a creator, I actually signed off on that. I'm allowing them to do that. Okay. So it does not necessarily mean that they are using the songs to train their AI. It still could mean that, but for this clause, it doesn't mean that way. Okay. User content refers to playlists and images uploaded by users. So the end user of Spotify is you and me, not the singers and not the production companies or the labels. Music and lyrics and image artwork comes via distributors and is not referred to as a user content. Does that make sense? So, if a singer wants to upload their content on Spotify, they do need a distributor. They can't just do it themselves. The reason is quality control. If they allow anybody to upload anything, it's going to be chaos. So, if there is a distributor, then it is the distributor's problem to make sure that the standard or the quality of the music being uploaded in Spotify meets the standard of Spotify. If they upload something that is trashy, then Spotify can take away their license. Okay. So, in other words, in Spotify, when they say user, it is not the singers, it's actually us and users. So, their terms of service that mentions users applies to us, not to the singers. Okay, so that is their defense. They're saying, no, we're not saying that we're going to be using the songs on Spotify to train our AI. We're just saying that we reserve the right to use any content for promotional materials. Okay. However, Spotify actually created a, let me open this. They published a new rule, and it has something to do with AI. Okay, I'll show it to you. If you have questions, let me know. Okay, so here, so they're saying that they have actually taken measures to strengthen AI protection for artists, songwriters, and producers. Meaning, this entire article is talking about how they are actually requiring people to disclose if they used AI in the music that they produce. That's number one. Second, you cannot do an impersonation. If you would remember, there was a song that used the AI voice of The Weeknd and Drake, and it earned a lot of money. So they are prohibiting that. They said that you cannot do it. You cannot use the voice of Jungkook, of Jimin, without their permission. Okay, no more of that. Second is that if you used AI in the music production, you're going to have to disclose it to Spotify. Otherwise, they reserve the right to take away your song or take down your song from their platform. Okay, so they're saying that they are definitely trying or improving their efforts to protect the rights of the singers. However, they have been open about the fact that they are allowing AI bands and AI singers to actually be on the platform for as long as it is disclosed. This band generated, I think, 4.5 million plays, Velvet Sundown. Um, and the thing was that it wasn't disclosed until later. So the creator of the band did not disclose to Spotify that this is an AI band. Okay. And at that time, they didn't have to because the rule was not in place. So they were safe. Now, this singer, Sanaya Monet, I guess is how it should be pronounced, she also does not exist. It was created by a human being, and she's AI. So now there is a label that signed her up, this AI. They signed her up as a talent, as a singer, even though, so she was given a contract, even though she does not exist. So it's the person that created it who signed the contract and is getting the money. And all she's doing is prompt the AI to create the song that she wants. And she got a 3 million deal. And Halsey can't even release her next album. This girl that does not exist just got a 3 million deal. So a lot of now obviously the creator of her creator, the creator of Sanaya, is very open about the fact that she's AI. This girl is AI. She's real though. The creator is real. But a lot of singers are now questioning, so is this what we're coming down to? This means that anybody, essentially you and me, anybody in this chat can just go to Chat GPT, create a persona, train your AI to write music, and then get a deal. And because AI is better at learning um any kind of trend or pattern, they can easily create songs that they know will be a hit. Right? If you give them 100 pop songs and you tell them, okay, these are the greatest hits, generate 5, 10, 20 songs. And for as long as I disclose it to Spotify, then I will be able to sign up a deal. My content will be allowed in the platform because I disclosed it, and I will earn from all of this. Okay, now this is where the slippery slope is. Spotify is saying they cannot use, for example, the songs of BTS to train an AI and create songs patterned after BTS. But the creator of Sanaya Monet can. Right, not legally, but no one's going to stop her. She can always pull the songs of BTS, get all of their records, give it to Chat GPT or whatever AI she's using, and tell the AI, okay, give me tell me learn what's making this songs a hit among armies, and then create 10 of that. So there's virtually nothing that's stopping creators, AI creators, from doing that. Spotify can't do it, but these creators can. And Spotify, for as long as it is disclosed, will allow all of their songs to be uploaded in their platform. Okay. So that is the issue. It's not about Spotify using the songs on their platform. It's them allowing it on their platform. Okay. This is another AI singer. Does not exist in real life, but is actually getting 2 million plays of just one song. And people are aware it is AI, but they're listening to it. So that is where the contention is. Now, the regulators, or at least some people, are calling on to regulators to put laws in place that will prohibit AI from accepting songs from accepting songs without the explicit permission of the owners of the song, right? So for example, for BTS, I give ChatGPT BTS songs and tell ChatGPT, okay, study that song and give me 10 more songs of that nature that will become a hit. What they want is for there to be a code in ChatGPT or any AI for that matter that will respond and say, okay, I'm going to do that, but you have to prove to me that BTS, Big Hit and Hype, actually allowed you to use their song so that I can learn. Without that, I'm not going to do anything. That is what people are asking for, that regulation to be in place. Nothing has happened yet. If you would remember, ChatGPT was supposed to be a nonprofit. Okay. So there's this huge fight between the founders. One of the founders is Elon Musk. So initially, what he wanted was for ChatGPT to continue being open. He does not want it to be profitable because he knew what's going to happen if it becomes profitable. So he said it's too powerful, allow it to be open so that other coders and other programmers they're going to self traffic essentially. Well, he lost that fight because it's profitable now. So it's a for profit company. Okay. So this is the story of Shania Monet, this person, that girl. The name of the person who created it is, where's that? Um, okay, there you go. So Talisha Jones is the name of the person who created Sanaya Monet. So these are the songs that became a hit, her songs that became a hit. I Ask for So Little, This Ain't No Tryout, the song Don't Get a Break, Let God Let Go. And all of that um, has earned her millions and millions of plays. Okay. And Jones is not a singer. It's just that she created an AI that is a singer. So for Jones, the project's potential is life changing, and her ability, look at that, her ability to translate vision, strategy, and AI tools into marketplace brand may be the most compelling part of Monet's story. So she's actually using the fact that she's AI as a marketing tool, and people are biting. Okay. All right. So now why? I'm sure that Spotify music labels are aware where this is headed. So the question is yes, 12,500 songs. Yes. So the question is, why is this happening? Why are they just, because they're not stupid people, all these labels, the executives in different music labels, they're not stupid. They know where this is headed. So the question is, why are they allowing this to happen? Right? So it's all because, and to think that people are actually claiming, or the music industry, that they're claiming that the music industry is growing. Now, this is Spotify's co-president, CTO, and CPO, Gustav Soderstrom. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but he did acknowledge, because he was asked point blank in an interview. He was asked, "Are you going to allow? Do you want AI generated music on your platform?" Is a question that was asked to him in an interview. And look at that answer, right? Because I can answer that in 0.04 seconds, and my answer is no. I don't want it. If I am Spotify, I'm going to say no. I don't want it. I don't want AI generated music on my platform. I can, for example, the song of the Beatles, where using AI, they extracted the voice of John Lennon so that they can put it together with the voice of the other Beatles. That I can do, because AI has is being used in so many ways and in so many levels for more than a decade now. So I don't have a problem with that. But for a totally AI generated songs, I don't want that in my platform. But here, he can't say no. In fact, after all the statement that he released, at the end of it, he's saying that our job is to put in our platform songs that people are giving to us. That's our job. It is not up to us to traffic AI and non AI content. That was a good pronunciation. Thank you. So, in other words, he's saying, yeah, that's not our problem. If you're listening to these songs, then we will continue uploading it in our platform. We will continue recommending it. It will still be there for as long as it is fully disclosed. Then we have no problem with it. Okay. So, so unfortunately, it will continue. Spotify has all the intentions of continuing this. Also, there are a lot of, I don't know if you like listening to podcasts, but there are a lot of podcasts that use AI as well. So you give them a script or talking points, and then the platform will generate a voice. And if you want one person, two persons, they can banter based on the talking points that you gave them. Now, those talking points also can generate that from AI. So be careful in what kind of um what kind of uh things you listen to. Okay. Um Comca is the association, AI no royalties. Yeah, so the problem with that. Okay, so let's pull back a little bit. The problem with that is that AI has been used for such a long time. It's just that it is a natural progression of any technology to be from being a tool to repair something, a small tool to repair something, to eventually taking over. That's how technology works, right? It used to be that television was supposed to be just a uh like a an enhancement of visual medium, but theater was supposed to be the medium, right? TV was just supposed to be an extension. And then TV took over. And then theater is on the sideline. So when they started AI, when they started using AI 10, 20 years ago, this is the natural progression. So what Spotify is using, what Spotify is saying is that, okay, but if we say we're not going to allow AI on our platform, where do we draw the limit? Considering all songs, is essentially all songs nowadays are actually using AI. And that's just the truth. A lot of the stuff that we're using right now, it's using AI. Okay. So statistics on the music business hide stagnation because the profit is getting transferred. So from musicians to record labels, it's going to tech aggregators. So the bulk of the earnings used to go to the Beatles, um, the producer of the Beatles. Now it's going to Spotify. right? So the money is getting transferred from human beings to technology, creators of music to distributors of data. It used to be the composers, now it's just the distributors, those who know how to push. So for example, I'm the composer, I used to make money. Now it's actually people who know how to promote that song into different platforms. They're getting paid. Okay. Composers of new songs to owners of old songs. So the money is getting transferred from those people who are actually supposed to get it to people that are using technology to distribute it. Okay. This is how the payouts to artists have gone down since 2021. So the yellow line is the payout to artists from 2021 to 2024. Even though the usage of streaming has gone up, the payout to artists has gone down. Okay. And then so it doesn't make sense that when the usage is actually growing, why is the payout getting smaller? Right? Because the money is not going to the artists and not to the songwriters. Okay, so this is how much by average, including Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. This is how much a song earns every 1,000 streams. So by 2024, back in 2021, 1,000 streams by average would earn, a song would earn $4.04. Oh, 4. But by 2024, every 1,000 plays now earns the song $3.41. Okay. So it has definitely been going down. Now, this is despite the fact that they are saying the music industry has gone up. You asked me to break down my computation because I said that in 2020, in 2020, 2024, the worth, so they're saying that it is 28 point something in 2024, the worth of the music industry. And if you compute that, the value of that back in 2021 is actually about 15 billion. So it's actually shrinking. You asked me to break down my computation. So you compute it by incorporating inflation, right? And this is the inflation by year. So 2001, that there was 2.8% inflation, so on and so forth, all the way until 2024. So you incorporate that, you compute the value of the dollar using the yearly inflation. And that's how I came down to 15.93 billion. So the value of the global music industries in 2024 is worth 15.93 billion in 2001. So it shrank. It did not expand. And that's the number they don't want you to know. They want you to think that it's actually growing. Add to that, the Live Nation CEO said that concerts are actually underpriced. He wants to increase the price of tickets, of concert tickets. And he's saying that the $800 worth of ticket is very cheap compared to sports events. So he actually is campaigning to increase the prices of concert tickets. And I think he's going to get the support of the different labels. So this is what he said. In sports, I joke it's like a badge of honor to spend 70 grand for a next courtside seat, and they beat me up if we charge 800 for Beyonce. So he wants to increase it by 300, 400%. And I think this label is going to support him because they're not earning enough. That's why they are laying off, right? They're laying off people. So most likely by the end of this year and probably next year, he's going to push for the increase of ticket prices. So if BTS comes over, oh my God, most likely it's going to be 2-3 times more expensive because of Ticketmaster. Okay, so um So expect the worst and make sure that you save. Now, the problem here is that the US labels will be supporting it because they need money. Right now, they have limited sources of income: album sales, recorded music, which doesn't really earn them anything, syncs, concerts, and percentage of brand endorsements because they have 360 deal. Okay. So because album is not selling, recorded music, they don't really earn a lot. That really leaves them three: syncs, concerts, and percentage in brand ambassador deals. Brand ambassador deals, you only get these types of deal when you get to the level of Beyonce, of um, of Taylor Swift, and so they really are just relying on syncs and concert. Now, syncs are also are uncommon. You don't get Not all singers get to have a song that is being used by a TV show, by a movie. And so at the end of the day, they really are just relying on concerts. So they most likely will push for the increase of ticket prices. Okay. So because they only have one source of income, their tendency is to squeeze their existing sources of income. That's why they wanted to jack it up, because that's their only source of income. And here is Halsey, who, according to her, her current tour is the best selling one of all the concerts that she's done. But she still can't release another album because she only sold 100,000 copies compared to Manic's 250 or something. Okay. So, and there is a solution. The thing is that there is a solution. One is do it the way Hybe is doing it, which Geffen is already trying to duplicate, expand the IP, create other ways of earning from your singers, right? The same way BTS did it. They have BT21, they have Wayang Yondwa, they have Tiny Tan, they have merchandise, all of those stuff. Those are IPs that they can earn from. The problem is that the business model is different in the US. In South Korea and in most of Asia, the label owns the IP of the client, of the singers. In West, they don't. And they most likely will get a pushback. So if and they know they will experience a pushback, so it's going to just drive them back to their original intention of jacking up the prices of concert tickets, because it's still the only way that they can make money. Now, Geffen is wise in partnering with Hybe, because now Geffen gets to enjoy the same type of contract with Cat's Eye, right? So when Hybe signed up Cat's Eye, the terms of the contract is the same as the terms in South Korea, meaning it gives them the right to develop the IP of Cat's Eye. So Geffen is actually the one at an advantage in this partnership, because then they can experiment, they can see and experience how it is to develop IP. And not only that, the most important part is for the artist to develop a tighter relationship with their fans. Cat's Eye is really good at doing this. They do live streams, they interact, they have conversations, they tour, they go to different countries, they converse with their fans. And Geffen is actually seeing it how it's actually happening, so that in the future when they sign new artists, they can ask the artist to do the same thing. But the problem is that this is against the very culture of Western musicians, because for Western musicians, they treat their fans as audience and nothing more, right? For them, the independence and purity of the musician is very important. And that's culture. I'm not knocking, by the way, I'm not knocking on the culture of the West. That's just their culture, something that they need to work on. And it definitely has its advantages. My only point is that there is a fundamental difference between the two. So even if they're willing, for example, if Geffen is willing to do this, they need to find artists that would be willing to do this. And it's very difficult because it's against their culture. Okay. So in gist, all of this push towards AI, it's driven by the fact that labels aren't earning enough money. If they have AI, if they accept AI, for example, this Sanaya Monet, because not a human being. They can make it do the things that they want to do, right? They create an AI, they create an AI performer, an AI artist. They can just do whatever it is that they want that AI to do. Nobody's going to push back because that's just not a human being. Eventually, they will have coders, they will have people creating different performers, bands, groups, artists, acoustic, whatever performers. And then whoever makes it big, they have it under control, all because they are not catching up fast enough in the way that the East is doing it. Okay. Um, no matter how much a fan loves their artist, if they don't have the money, they can't make money out of thin air. Yes, that is correct. So yes, that is another problem, that which is a bigger conversation. That's like a economic conversation. One of the reasons, and I've said this several times in my different videos, Filipinos, that's one of the most talented singers in the world. The problem is that it's a third world country. It has been a developing country for such a long time. It hasn't developed yet. We're so bogged down by corruption and all of those stuff. So it hasn't really progressed economically. And because art is not a necessity, it doesn't really become our priority when we're spending, right? And so that becomes the biggest hurdle. We have a lot of great performers, but the market is not ripe. It's not rich enough to actually pay for their content. Okay, let me answer some questions. Can Halsey feature in a song? She can, but she's gonna have to still ask for permission from their label. So remember, who's this other collaborator of BTS? Stallion, right? uh, she had to sue her label to allow her to collaborate with BTS because they didn't want her to do it. So they own you in the West. They own you. Um, so yes, she can, but she still need permission. She would need permission from the label. Okay. There's another question. So after screwing sports fans and making sports events unattainable, they're after music. Yes, they're after music. But if the audience can't afford the tickets, then what? They don't they think that people can afford it. They think that people can afford it. They think that people has been so used to music, to concert tickets being so cheap, that they're complaining. A single, like, they're saying that, increase it by 5%, and they complain when in fact they can afford it. The same way sports fans can actually afford it. So they don't believe that people can't afford the concert tickets. Um okay, I might have to fly to SK to see BTS concert. It might be cheaper, and this way I will get to see SK for the price I would have to pay for a ticket in the US. She fought hard and didn't have to. So glad she did. Yeah, so I know that for Stallion, for Megan Thee Stallion, the Hybe lawyers actually helped her. So she phoned a friend. So she called on the Hybe lawyers to help her in the case, to have the label, to convince the label to allow her to release the music. So yeah, do they not know what is happening in the real world? Maybe they're thinking like, sports are still okay. People are still shelling out the money. So you will shell out the money if you really want this experience. Maybe. I was very sorry about what Halsey's company is doing to her. I know. But remember, this is not, so she was let go by Capitol. So Capitol was her original label. And then when Love and Power didn't do as well as Manic, she was let go. So I think Manic sold, like, I don't quote me on this, but I think it sold like more than 200,000 copies. And then she released Love and Power, which she considers to be her best album, and it was like 160,000. So the label let her go. She signed with Columbia, and she released The Great Impersonator. She sold almost 100,000, but Columbia was expecting Manic numbers. So she's not. So they were like, well, you didn't sell as well, so you're not going to release another album. Sports are making money from TV rights now. Yes, so from TV rights, um, advertising. Yes, okay. Live Nation is out of touch and has ruined live events for everyone. Would rather have actual fans than rich people at a concert. The A bigger question is like, for Hybe, this is an opportunity, right? This is an opportunity for them. They did buy this company, the live events company, the premium VIP experience company. Like the question is the plan to actually eventually handle their own ticketing? So then they don't have a middleman that's taking a bulk of their income. So then they can keep the price the same, because it's going, there his they it's far more complicated. Just because you have a company that's taking care of ticketing and you say, okay, I'm going to take it out of Ticketmaster, there's still a lot of groundwork that will happen. But once they establish it, then you forego all of these fees that you need to pay to Ticketmaster. Essentially, there's less mouths to feed, so they can get the bulk of their money. At least they can maybe keep the prices of the tickets the same. Let's see if they're going to do it. And then also, are they going to release their own streaming platform, right? Because if this is what Spotify is going to do, and they're not, the artists aren't getting paid anyway. So Halsey is okay financially. Oh yeah, I mean, she seems to be very okay financially. It's just that for her, the reason she can actually afford to release an album like The Great Impersonator is that she's not after the money anymore. She has it. So she just wants her art out there. Ticketmaster has an exclusive hold on all the large venues though. Yes, they do. But if you're BTS, remember that the biggest advantage of many K-pop companies is that they're actually selling tickets. At any given point in time, there's like only 10 to 15, 20 if you're lucky, acts that can actually sell out a stadium, right? At any given era, there's like 10, 15, 20 if you're lucky that can actually sell out a stadium. Even the biggest of them, they're still stuck in arenas. So, and you're probably hearing the news about certain singers canceling their certain acts canceling their stadium stop because they're not selling out the tickets. Just that's just how it is. So the biggest bargaining chip of K-pop artists is that they're selling. So maybe they're not selling, not everybody's selling stadiums, but they are selling arenas consistently. And you want that, right? If you're a venue, you want that. So that could be a bargaining chip. Why not release Halsey if they don't want her music? She can, so she's still touring. And she said that this is her best selling tour so far. And that this is also another example. Not all of her venues are arenas. She actually is playing on some theaters, still the best selling. So, um, but yeah, maybe they want to force her to make pop music. That's what she's saying, that they want her to go back to being a pop star. But yeah, like what SSERAFIM did was pretty historic, to sell out all of their venues. I don't think even Blackpink didn't do that in their first tour. So for them to sell out all of their venues, and still with demand, that was actually pretty historic. And then you have other acts that are actually selling out, and Hypin, even Temin is actually selling. Well, he's just theaters, but you know. Okay. Next point. I think this is another reason why all eyes are on BTS's comeback. With all these changes, the industry will be watching. Yeah, like, Stray Kids is selling sold out. I think they only canceled one stop, but the rest they sold out, right? So that's, how many acts can actually do that? So I'm guessing that BTS is going to, anyway, they're going to sell out more. Oh, let's talk about brand value. So that's a little depressing. Let's go to something positive. Unless you have questions. Do you have questions before I did BP sell out their current tour? No, they didn't. Um, No, they didn't. Well, I'm sure that YG is going to say that they sold it out, but if you looked at the tickets even before the night of the show or the day of the show, you can actually see a lot of seats. Um, Baby Monster, I think, sold out. So they cover, usually for Baby Monster, they cover the topmost. So there's like a black curtain covering the uppermost. So only the lower level and the floor are being sold out, were sold. So only those were sold, and they still didn't sell it out, but they did pretty well with that volume. So it could have been a theater. Had they went for a theater, it would have been sold out. But their initial NA, their initial North American, the first two dates, so they went New York and LA. Those first two dates they sold out. That's actually, I think, the reason they decided to come back and extend the tour, because they felt like, oh, that's a good reception. But I think had they gone on a theater tour for the rest, I think they would have sold it out. Okay. All right. Stalker topic. That's later. You want to do it now? We can do it now. I just wanted to show you Jungkook. So this is actually his picture with Mingyu. I just cut out Mingyu, but he looks so good. And also he lost a lot of weight, huh? It was pretty fast because I remember he was, I think he wasn't this thin, but I think he's just losing a lot of weight. I thought he was trying to be bigger, but I think he wants to be leaner, probably for dancing. It's it's lighter when you're it's just they move easier when you're lighter. So maybe that's maybe or maybe it's the hairstyle. I don't know, but I think he's losing a lot of weight. Okay, and then I just wanted to show you RM. He looks so good. This was his departure from Incheon going to Milan Fashion Week. He just looks so good. He looks so good. He lost weight, huh? Am I right? He lost weight. Yeah, but still he looks good. I'm just saying that maybe the reason is to so that he can dance better. Um, when you're lighter, then you move easier, maybe. Okay, I'm not a dancer, so all right. So that's RM again. You look so good. And that is another angle of RM. Just a lot of RM pics because he looks so good in the Milan Fashion Week and before and after as well. He looks 17 again. And then the projects for Jimin's birthday has actually started. And this is one of them. Isn't that cute? The Jimin fan bases, they're really good at thinking of new things to do for his birthday, to celebrate his birthday. I remember when they wrapped a plane to celebrate Jimin's birthday. They shocked the whole world. And this is one of the popular photos of Jimin depicting Jimin's tattoo. So this is in South Korea. They already have buses. So the celebration for his birthday is already starting. Okay, so it's going to be the 13th. This is the same bus, but from a different angle. Okay, so if you ever are going to make it in Korea this October, congratulations. You're going to see a lot of Jimin projects for his birthday. And also, ILLIT is the new brand ambassadors for Uniqlo Japan. Okay. I love Uniqlo, so congratulations to them. If you want to laugh, you can go to the X account of Uniqlo because there's a certain fandom there that's throwing tantrums because when Uniqlo dropped a clue, it was just a silhouette of five girls. So there's another fandom who thought that it was their bias, and they were like, "Oh, it must be this and whatever." It turned out to be them, but it's a perfect actually for them. So, but if you want to laugh, go to Uniqlo Japan um, X account, and you will see a lot of complaints from the other fandom. And also Minju actually opened the show for LOL for the competition for the e games competition. So it was a shock to everybody because everyone thought that if she is ever going to perform, it will be with ILLIT, but she performed on her own. And allegedly, I don't play this game, But allegedly, she played one of the characters in the game. That's her persona in the performance. Um, the irrelevant and their rabid followers, correct? Yeah. If you go to the Uniqlo Japan X account, so you'll see a lot of comments, throwing tantrums, cursing Uniqlo, saying this, saying that. So it was just funny, because it was just, what are you doing? There's enough brands for everybody. It's not like, not don't expect that every brand will actually want to work with your favorite group, right? Okay. So that's more of the shots of you. You have to listen to her. She sounds so good. Minju, her primary strength has always been her vocals. So I'm very, very happy that she actually got this break. So watch her performance. It's really good. Also, the Seraphim is going to release their single. It's their very first single album, called Spaghetti. And they said that this is going to be different. So I think, so they have a lore, right? Just like all the other hype groups, they have a lore. But this one, I think, is a one off. It's not a part of their lore. Okay. Next is, the Golden has now spent 7 weeks atop Billboard Hot 100. So they are now among all-time top 10 longest leading number ones from movies. And I think they're going to try and push it to stay on number one for a long time. Okay, so this is now the stalker topic. And this was kind of upsetting. If you saw the video, um, when I watched the video, I wasn't really sure what I was watching because I did not know about this issue. This is Julie of Kiss of Life, I think. I hope I got that right. She's Julie of Kiss of Life. Um, and so I did not know about, because I don't follow Kiss of Life. So I'm not aware of what's happening in their neck of the woods. So there was just this video posted allegedly of her with a guy, and pretty intimate. So there are two versions of that. One is a shorter one where it was just a back hug, and then there's just like caressing of the hair and whatever. And then there's a longer one which is more, anyway, it's just disturbing. So um people pinpointed to her. She said that it was Julie, and the guy was from another boy band, fourth gen boy band. Okay. So I don't know them. So I was like, so when I was watching, I really don't know what I was watching. The video was forwarded to me. You all know that I get a lot of videos and I get a lot of pictures and whatever. So majority of the pictures and videos that I get, they're just, great, good pictures and good videos, performances of whatever. So when this was sent to me, I thought, oh, what is this? So now her agency did not deny that it was her. They just said that they can't comment because it's her personal life. The agency of the guy denied it and said that's not him. And we will sue anybody who says that it's him. Okay. What is concerning though is that this is a private room. They paid for this room. And the video leaked. So this is the extent by which people are actually, so it's not exactly, well, it's a private room. So I understand there is CCTVs for security or whatever. Um, but the mere fact that they rented this room should have given them the privacy that they wanted. That's why they paid for this room. But it leaked. So, i- uh, so this is how far people are willing to go to try and destroy the reputation of this people, of the idols. And if you would remember, just yesterday, Weverse actually, well, not Weverse, Big Hit actually released a statement saying that they continue to um, sue people, not just for harassment, but for personal attacks, for defamation, and for violating the privacy of people of their idols, and for sexual harassment. So they have widened the cases that they're trying to that they are taking on to sue people, which is a good one. Now last month, well, not yeah, no, this month, they also managed to they won a case in the US to compel Twitter to disclose the owners, the information of certain Twitter accounts that are spreading false information. Okay. So, but this also happened as a reaction, not as a reaction, but also part of this lawsuit that they are doing is what happened to Jungkook. Someone broke into his apartment. So now they are saying in this information, in this statement, they are saying that it's not just when you go inside the house, but if you loiter around the area of the residence, they can actually sue you. That's what they're saying in this release. Okay. So the other issue is that someone just doxed Taeyong. So people are talking about this apartment that he bought, which is great. He has the money, he can buy whatever property he wants to buy. The thing is that they're releasing the address. So if number one, if you receive any kind of information like that, if you see it in your TL, on your timeline, if you see it on your feed, don't forget to screen cap the entirety of your screen and submit it to Hive, because they can't do that. They shouldn't be distributing the address of the idols. Number one, they shouldn't be encouraging people from consuming content like that of Julie. And I'm sure that all of you know that they have done the same thing to other BTS members. So if you encounter any content like that, screen cap the entirety of your screen, not just the part where you see the video or the picture, but the entirety of your screen. Take note of the date, take note of the time. Make sure that you click, if it is on Twitter or any social media, try to click on the source so that you can get as much information and give it to Big Hit. They shouldn't be doing that. Now, the thing is that um, to a certain degree, at least BTS has a big company behind them. But for Julie, her company is pretty small, right? So it's going to take a toll on them financially if they try and go after that. I'm sure that they're going to do that. They'll be foolish not to. But it doesn't take away the fact that they are going to be spending a lot of money trying to get to the bottom of this. But it is disgusting, the type of picture, that video that they distributed. It's so, it just, it, you know, it's their private time. It's not supposed to be anybody's business. Um, the Soul Street Walker guy was all over Tess' new apartment. Yeah, so I don't understand that. Like, why can't you just say, if you want to break a news, just say like, oh, he bought a penthouse, whatever. Just don't. Why are you publishing his address? Now you're making him a target for sassings. The same way Jungkook is a target for sassings. And and also this should not, if you know of anybody paying these people to invade the privacy of the artist, you can complain. You can also file a complaint against them. I mean, you can submit their information to Big Hit. So, for example, there are people that are just going to go to the apartment, right? And go around the apartment, walk around the area where Jungkook lives, for example, or where V lives, or where Jimin lives, or whatever. And there are actually people that would pay those people, would pay the sassings to do those things, to follow them or whatever. You can also get their information and submit it to Big Hit. So if there are any content creators, if there are anyone online paying content creators that are sassings to invade the privacy publish pictures and videos of BTS members, you can also submit their information to BTS. So remember, to Big Hit, remember that if they can get the US court to compel Twitter to disclose the information of these accounts, it's easier on other countries. So make sure that you submit those information. The new House of Tail was everywhere, but I don't think the home that is being shown is actually test. Seems they all reveal the addresses. They don't do that here in the US. Um, yeah, no, that even though that yes, it's not the actual unit that the has. That's not the one that they are showing, but they still disclose the building address. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't. Warren, he is a YouTuber that walks by all BTS members BTS member houses. He has been reported a lot. Yeah, yeah. There are many actually. So even if it's just any creator out there, even if it is a friend of BTS members, or at least those who think they are friends with BTS, they shouldn't be doxing BTS. They shouldn't be publishing videos and pictures of BTS without BTS's permission. It's obvious, like for example, that picture of Mingyu and Jungkook. Obviously, Jungkook knows that this picture is being taken and that it's okay for that to be published. But if there are videos that were obviously a violation of their privacy, go submit them to Big Hit. They should stop. Um, okay. Crazy, Michelle said. Wouldn't Hybe know by now if it is someone from Hybe feeding this? Um, yeah, but most of this are just fans, hater sassings. Like for example, Jungkook is constantly targeted. His house is constantly targeted. If you go to certain websites or certain accounts or certain groups, you know that there are people that would accept payment from fans so they could follow Jungkook. So they would stalk Jungkook. Same thing is true with all BTS members. For V, for Jimin, Suga, all of them. So there are people whose source of living is from donations of sassings and fans and haters so that they could follow the members and get dirt on them. It's rampant. It's rampant. It's very common in social media. So if you see anybody that, like, people that are paying other content creators so they can follow or spill dirt on BTS members or any idol for that matter, submit their information to Big Hit. They should not do that. They shouldn't. Okay. Do they reveal new home purchases because it is public record in SK like here in USA? It is public record, yes. This still does not give them the excuse to do that. They need to get real jobs. Yes, they do. They do need to get real jobs. So, again, even if they aren't the ones that are directly disclosing this information, but they are paying other people to do this, get their information, submit them to Big Hit. It doesn't matter whether they are from another country. If Big Hit is able to get that decision from the US court, who is more is their US court is stricter when it comes to things like this. If they are able to get that from the US, they can get that from other countries as well. Doesn't matter what country. So I wonder how long JK will actually stay in the house with all the trauma. I wouldn't be surprised if he eventually moved. The thing about allowing haters to win is that you're allowing the haters to win, right? It's so That's my number one rule. Like, I will not allow haters to dictate. I will not serve haters or something like that. But I understand it's for protection. So okay. Um he put a lot of money into that house. He can sell it though. Okay. It's all black. So all right. So you want to do brand deals. I would assume Jimin is moving as well. I hope he moves. Um The only thing, as I've said, the only thing is that it's so hard to cater to haters because then they win, and that's what they want. They want to win. So that's the only thing. Um, but yeah, I hope BTS members would just buy properties under somebody else's name, and then just live there. JK needs some German shepherds to guard their house. He does, yeah, more. All right. Okay, so this is the brand report from BTS. Well, not just BTS, but other, because it's Fashion Week. And I know that anytime now, Jimin is actually going to walk into the airport to go to the the Fashion Week for Dior. So I'm happy about that. I didn't want to get my hopes up, as I was saying in the opening, because I didn't want to be disappointed. But there are now four, at least the last time I checked, there are now four Korean media companies that are actually waiting on the airport. So I guess it is true. Because if you are doing something official for your brand, you do want coverage, you do want fans there and stuff, because you want as much coverage for your brand as possible. That's why they are released to the public. Their flight information and all of that, they are released to the public and to the media, because you want that for your brand. Okay. So I know there's a lot of like um someone actually sent me like a very very scathing DM on Twitter, telling me on X, telling me that I shouldn't be reposting pictures of BTS members on the airport. I'm like, that depends. If it is an official job, if it's an official work, you actually kind of want their pictures there, because again, it's all like for this, if they are working for a brand trying to promote their brand, you want the media value. You want the mentions. So, but I'm just careful that it has to be official. If it's not official, I'm not going to cater to that. But if it is something that is released by the agency, yes, I'm going to repost it. Okay. All right. So this is the head of media, I think, of Bottega. So Bottega is a private company. Valentino is a private company. So there is the impact of RM and the impact of Suga. They're different for these companies because you won't see them in the stock prices because they're a private company. Okay, so mostly the success of their campaign is measured on media value and sales. Okay. All right, so that's RM. And there's another picture of RM, who's actually, and it was him and the CEO of Bottega. And he was talking, and the CEO of Bottega was actually listening to him. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead and listen to RM. Do whatever it is that he's asking you to. But it was such a powerful picture. This is the CEO of Bottega actually listening to RM, whatever it is that he was saying. Okay, so just for fun, um, so media value is largely. Oh, before I go on, I will give a much more detailed explanation on the EMVs, the estimated media values, the sales effect of BTS members and other K-pop idols to the brands that they are actually endorsing. So this is like a teaser of that. So I will disclose some, but a more detailed explanation will be for the members only live stream. Okay. So a lot of the estimated media value, it is measured through comments, likes, mentions, impressions. So there's a formula. Okay. And usually the heaviest weight goes to the activities or engagement that require more effort. So, for example, an impression is just when you see the the post. That's an impression. That's one impression. You see it once, that's one impression. Now, a like is unique because an account can only like one thing. One account can only like one thing once, right? However, it's far more easier to like than it is to comment. So when you like, so a comment weighs heavier than a like. Okay. So, for example, an account with 100,000 followers but are getting 0.5% comments compared to another account with 50,000 followers, but they're getting 75% comments. That usually doesn't happen, but just as an example, the smaller account will actually be more valuable because the engagement weighs heavier. Okay. However, these things you can actually buy. There are platforms, very, very much legal, that are actually selling likes, comments, and shares. Okay. So this is one of them. I'll show you. Okay. So this is one of them. So you can buy, so the most trustful X comments. So like here, you can see you can buy X comments. These are the prices. If you want 25 custom comments, you pay them $2.25. And you can order. You can order. The same thing for this is custom comment, this is random comment. Random comment is cheaper. It's only $0.7 for 10. But if it is custom comments if you can buy 25 custom comments for $2.25, and then you can do the same thing for other platforms. YouTube, Instagram, same thing. So you want likes, you want views. For 1,000 views, you can buy it for $2.29. For 100 YouTube watch hours, you can buy it for $6. You can order all of that. And the same thing is true for Instagram. I'm sorry. Are you seeing it? Okay, perfect. So, um, so not everything that you see, and then you can also buy follows, reviews. So Telegram, Spotify, there you go, Spotify followers. And usually once they follow you, they don't really unfollow. It's just that many of these accounts are dead, meaning they don't really do anything. That is why a lot of people will get like 50 million monthly listeners or followers or whatever, and then they only get like 1 million plays a day or whatever, because a lot of those accounts are actually dead already. So it only goes, I wanted to show you this because I want you to realize that just because someone has a lot of comments, it doesn't mean that they are actually really powerful, that their brand is actually powerful. um, you can buy these things. All right. So when you are a brand manager, it is important for you to recognize which ones are actually paid for and which ones are actually organic. So when it is organic, that's valued more over things like this, right? Because you just paid for that. Oh, there's more here. So you can do, oh, there you go, LinkedIn, Discord, Snapchat, Pinterest. So a lot more. And this is not the only company that sells comments and likes and retweets or whatever. There's a lot more. And so that is why influencers, well, K-pop idols, like RM, their mentions and their interactions, the likes that they get, that's way more valuable because those are organic. So for example, um yeah, the comments are sometimes obviously created by a computer, yeah. Okay, so there's, aside from what I showed you, there's like Social Wick. They also sell likes and whatever, NADCorp or something, Media, Mailster, whatever. So there's a lot of companies that would actually sell you likes and shares and whatever. Now, here. So I computed, for example, if you buy, for example, on X, if you buy 25 custom comments, no, so if I want to buy 10,000 custom comments, how much is that going to cost me, right? If I just want to boost my post. So that will be 900. I will have 10,000 comments distributed across maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, or whatever. But it'll cost me $900. Now, more comments, it'll cost you more. Okay, that is custom comments. So meaning it's not just going to be whatever, where it looks like it is organic. Okay. So that's your cost. Now, if you are, for example, like RM, you're not just getting comments from whoever on social media. You're actually getting free posts by GQ Japan, and this is true for many idols as well. L Thailand, Billboard. So they're writing about you. So for the brand, for Bottega, this is free media, earned media, because they didn't pay for this. But accounts, big accounts, credible accounts are actually organically posting about him. So this one post, we're not even talking about how many shares, how many comments, how many likes. Just this post alone costs hundreds of thousands, because Billboard is such a big company and they voluntarily, in other words, organically posted about RM. That is what they pay the influencers for. In this case, this is what they pay RM for. Media coverage like this. Okay. So if you want a PR company that could get you coverage like this, that will get you Billboard tweeting about you, writing about you, covering your event, you can spend as much as $100,000 per month to retain them. So that is actually on the low end. It can be 250,000. If you would remember Melissa, the publicist of Will Smith. She's actually getting paid like 250, I think, and she deserves it after everything that Will Smith has gone through as a celebrity, and she's still able to clean up his image. Um so the 100,000 is actually on the low end. Now, meaning, and that's a contract. No one is going to say yes to a month to month contract in PR. So here they are getting all of this for free from RM, right? So the all of this post is actually way more, because it's credible publications tweeting, posting, and writing about them. Okay. So this is IN. He is the second brand ambassador that Bottega actually got. So first was RM and then IN. This is the youngest, I believe. He's the youngest of Stray Kids. So, um, so that essentially, usually after a week of the coverage, you can pretty much you can pretty much compute how much the coverage cost, how much RM was actually able to generate in media value based on his appearance alone. So, because he was able to get coverage from publications like L, GQ, Billboard, that's way more valuable than just retweets and all of those stuff. Okay. Um, Now, one of the most historic media value ever earned was V for Celine. For a year, for an entire year's campaign, he was able to generate 274 million media value, 31 posts and stories on Instagram. So for one entire year. So they computed one entire year and well, 9 months, but Okay, so he posted and combined his posts and Celine's post about him, total of 31, and he generated 274 million. So per post, 274 million divided by 31, that is how much the media value is per post. So this is historic, because he is certainly not the first K-pop ambassador of Celine. So for him to make this difference, the other thing that you need to appreciate is that male brand ambassadors for fashion houses will never be as powerful as female, because the fashion industry is a female industry, right? The majority of the market, they're women. So so the higher paid models are usually women, because that's what you're catering to. So for V to generate this media value for a fashion brand, it only spells how it gives you an idea how powerful he is as an ambassador. So among male idols, this is where he ranked: 286 million for 1 year. Cha Eun-woo, 192 million media value. Kai and Sehun, 81 million. Big Bang, 62 million. This is G Dragon. Um, Good Lord, what did he do for the coffee company? Okay, and this is just now more important. What is more important to brands isn't just the media value, but the actual sales. You need to convert, right? And that's what's more important. And they convert. The boys actually convert. He sold out this perfume. Okay. As I'm still talking about V. He sold out this perfume. He sold out this jacket, and they are not cheap. Okay. So that gives you an idea of his actual value as an ambassador, because it's not just about mentions, it's actually about sale. Now, I will provide you with a more detailed um, explanation and data on just how much they influence the brands that they are endorsing. And I'm talking about actual sales. So for this is the media value of Stray Kids. So the number one, the most powerful is Yoon Jin. He is the brand ambassador for Versace. I think he has been their ambassador for 3 years or something, but he is always number one when there is a show. Um, where he has, but yeah. So BTS has been in the military for 2 years. So, but in the last 2 years, he has been number one in terms of media value. He provides a lot to Versace. Um, Jin sold out that one necklace. Yeah, Jin sold out one necklace. Um, he actually sold out ramen a lot, actually. So I will do that. I will do a more detailed one in the members only live stream. Okay. So this is like the bulk. This so for last year, I think when Yoonjin attended Versace, um, the bulk of the media value that Versace got was from him, not from the actual runway. So it only goes to show how powerful he is. He generated 4 million EMV, estimated media value. Okay. So he's a really powerful brand ambassador. Now, this is what I was talking when it comes to actual sales, because that's what it comes down to, right? For Suga, he partnered with NBA, and he sold the collection that he has with NBA actually was sold out. So that they had to restock, and it was sold out I think in less than 2 days, which is pretty amazing considering the collection was actually on the NBA side. So it's not like just, if you're a BTS fan, you probably already have an account in Weaver, so it's easier for you to buy. But here, the collection was on the NBA website, and the mere fact that he still sold that, it only demonstrates just how powerful he is as a brand ambassador. Okay, unfortunately um for Valentino, because it's a private company, he really has no effect on the stock prices, at least not in public. Okay. The impact of tea on composed coffee was intense. They have expanded into new markets due to their growth. Oh yeah, I'm sure. So I'll have details of that in the members only live stream. I'll give you more details. It's really the power of tea. It's just a different level. Every BTS member. So okay, this is talking about other BTS members. Jungkook, if you would remember, he was actually after the announcement of his representation of Calvin Klein. Calvin Klein actually reached their all-time high in stock prices. So 131.66. That goes to show again just how powerful he is, his influence on people. So that is the all-time high, and it was a sharp increase. So if you would look at the graph above him, you could see that very sharp increase in stock price. That's the effect of Jungkook to Calvin Klein. Okay. So before the announcement of Jungkook as a brand ambassador, their stock price was actually tanking. And then when he was announced, look at the next slide, it started going up and then it continued going up until it reached 136. So that's an 88.36% increase in stock prices. Sorry, 20% increase in stock price. That's how powerful. That's the climb. So when he was announced, when the market opened, everyone just swarmed into Calvin Klein. And then they closed at 136. And then his brand power isn't just limited to stock prices because he did sell out the stuff that he was wearing within a day in different markets: Japan, UK, France, Italy, Portugal, all of them, all of those countries. The stocks of the stuff that he was wearing, they were all out. Okay. So, okay, this is an example of how powerful he is in terms of his influence for Calvin Klein's media impact. And this is not the fashion week, it was just the day of his announcement as a brand ambassador. His EMV, estimated media value, was 13.4 million. Compare that to Kendrick Lamar, who's such an influential figure in the US. His estimated media value is 2.3 million. So that gives you an idea on how powerful Jungkook is. Just wanted to clarify that Kendrick Lamar is actually for Celine, not for Calvin Klein. Not exactly apples to apples. Okay. So for Jimin, on the other hand, same thing with Jungkook. When he was announced, the day that he was announced as a brand ambassador, Dior actually got their ATH, all-time high in stock prices. So that peak, that is Jimin there. So all-time high, just because he was announced. So it was an increase of 15.35% in stock prices. They closed at 100 and okay. So and then he, for one day, this is one day, one tweet, his estimated media value was 17 million. So this was, when this was posted, it was just a quick like overview. So just one tweet, sorry, one IG post. It wasn't even a tweet. One IG post. That one IG post, this specific photo, the EMV of this specific photo is 17 million. Nicolas Cage. Hi, Nicolas Cage. Why? What's your why? Also, because of him, Dior, for the first time in history, garnered the most valuable media coverage in the fashion week that he attended. So that gives you, and remember, always remember that men aren't as influential in the fashion world as women. So the mere fact that it's actually the male influencers or the male brand ambassadors that are carrying the brands, it gives you an idea how powerful BTS is. Okay. All right. So Dior, they were the most mentioned, most valuable during that fashion week. That's him. Dior is number one. And the row of media outlet at the airport at the moment waiting Jimin to arrive. I know, right? Everyone is excited. So this is one of the stuff that he actually wore in the campaign, and it was sold out in California. It was the only one that I was able to check because I'm from California. So I went through all the sizes, and it was sold out. And it was sold out for a good month. I think they didn't restock it until after a month. So, and then all the other pieces that he wore, it was sold out. Um, so I will discuss this, as I've said, in the members only live stream. But it was interesting because BTS members are actually known for carrying stuff that are for women. Yeah. Like, for example, purses. They would have shoulder bags that are actually for, they'll use it, they don't care. And those will they sell those things out. So I'm going to discuss that in the members only live stream. Um, oh, why keep pushing European brands? Why? Um, Different reasons could be, one is monetary. So that's one. Second is that it still gives them, it still helps their brand to be associated with brands like this. So They don't necessarily need it. They don't need the brand influence of these brands. It just helps. So you keep on doing it just because, compared to, for example, the amount of money that Jin is getting from Gucci versus the amount of money that he's getting from Jin Ramen. He's getting more from Jin Ramen, right? But he would still get, and he would still work with Gucci because it adds to their brand value. So it's more business than anything else. Okay. All right. Hope that answers your question. Those brands have the money. That's another thing. They have the money, yes. They're pushing the clothes they actually wear. Those are the ones that sell out first. Anything that they wear, they sell out. Um, Even the stuff that, for example, for the campaign of Jimin for Tiffany, he sold out the stuff that he was wearing in the commercial. So Jungkook does not post on IG or X about CK much, but he does fold his CK under. The Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna do another, because he did say that the fashion week wasn't for him. Remember when he was asked about it, he was like, "It was good. It was a good experience, but it's not for me." I don't know if he's gonna do it again. I so love how BTS members don't conform to toxic masculinity. When and where is the members only live stream? I keep every Friday. So depending on your tier, it could be 1 Friday a month, 2 Fridays a month, or 3 Fridays a month. But it's usually the first 3 Fridays. My rest time is usually the last Friday, but the first three, that's when I do. So every Friday, same time, 4 p.m. I send the notification on X, not X, but on Patreon. I also send the notification, the link on Patreon. I send the link on YG, not YG, YT, YouTube, and I will also be sending it via email. Okay. Um, I used to work for Stasi, and BTS give them so much for free. I can't believe Jin has me buying Jin ramen. It's good. Okay. JK will post if it was food, utensils, and all. Actually, he should. He should be a brand ambassador because he likes cooking, right? So he should be a brand ambassador for a knife or something. That's organic because he actually uses them. Valentino invented a brand for Suga. He loved that bucket hat he wore everywhere. I highly recommend the 3 Fridays for members. We learn a lot and have fun. Yeah, I'm more unhinged on those. So, okay, maybe we can cover the last one, right? This is actually the fun stuff. This is the fun stuff. Yeah, I have time. So I'll go through just some of the old pictures. So I have a collection of all of their, not all, but many of their old interviews, photos, and whatever. So you get to see them when they were still fetuses. So this is 2014, I want to say. This is for High Cop magazine. Yeah, 2014, I want to say. So they're still very, very young at this time. Okay. Just enjoy how they look. So young. 20, I want to say 15, 2014, 2015, something like that. JK coming out with his own brand of cooking pots, pans, cookware. It would be a good idea, actually. That's a great idea. Since he loves cooking so much. So I don't like what they asked Jimin to wear. Here, I'm talking about this one. I don't like any of the stuff that they were wearing. But then again, this was like, 10, 11 years ago. So maybe it was fashionable during that time, not anymore now. Okay. So that's more of them when they were still very young. Vimin Kokya. And this is the five of them. Still very, I know the hair, right? And they're just so young, so innocent. The duo, Jungkook and Jimin. Look at that. He didn't age a day. He hasn't aged a day. Um, and then, yeah, I really don't like what they ask Jimin to wear. I mean, he's rocking it. He's making it work, but it's working just because it's him. Had it been anybody else, it wouldn't have worked. Okay. More of them. Brands also make the outfit for their concerts. Remember, J Hope loves the way he take the Louis off of him. Okay, just that's RM. That is J Hope and Suga. Soap. Okay. V, Suga, Jin. It's so refreshing to actually read their old interviews just to see how they have evolved through time. It's so fun. This one is a little better. I don't know, maybe because they're sitting down. So that is Jungkook. See, Jungkook, RM, Jimin, and J Hope. And then that's J Hope. He looks so pretty, huh? You're disappointed because it's a European brand. Okay, I understand. Okay, and then that is Jimin v Jungkook Suga. Okay. They're so young, right? It's so much fun reading their old interviews, just seeing how they probably think different now. This is the seven of them. Okay. RM, Jin, and J Hope. I think in this interview they talked about like RM's first mixtape, his collaboration. I think he also shot like an endorsement on his own for the first time. J Hope and Jim in here. I don't know who's that on the other. These are scans, magazines. They scanned it. Oh, Suga. This was Suga. Okay. Okay, and this is Jin and V. V so cute. Even when he was so young. Even when he was young, you can already see how good looking he was going to be. You can actually see it. Like he was going to be a gorgeous man. And he became a gorgeous man. Um yes, Jin is a vampire. More of them. So all of this, everything that's written, it was translated. I have the translation of all of that. And I'll just publish one by one on Patreon. There's so much. There's so much. Okay. So this is the three of them. That's RM, Jin, and V. Okay. That's RM and Jungkook. Jungkook didn't age today. Oh my gosh. I hope you're having fun as much as I'm having fun looking at their pictures. Suga and and Jungkook. Um, Suga is so cute, and that is Jimin. Okay, so I think this is the last one for the interview. So this interview, so I got some information. This one specifically. Oh, thank you, Angel Star. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. So this one is so if you go to this interview, this clips well snippets of interview that I'll be showing, it was taken off this interview from Osen Sports Donga, I think is how they pronounce it. So this was an interview with BTS during the Wayang Yonwa era. Okay. So I'm so glad that I found these interviews again because I keep on saying this whenever I do my videos that BTS were the ones who actually decide. BTS are the ones who decide on the concept of their albums. And here they actually talked about it. So this is not a lot of people are saying, oh, it's probably the creative people in Big Hit. They probably have a literature team, whatever, a narrative team, a storytelling team, or whatever. They probably have that now. But when BTS was starting, all the way until Love Yourself, it was actually them. I think all the way until Map of the Soul, it was them deciding on the concept of their album. So they were actually asked about it. So again, this is from this interview, Sports Donga. Jin, so the question was how they decide on concepts and narratives. So how do they decide that? So this was right after the promotion of when they were interviewed. This was right after the promotion of the school trilogy. And he said, we haven't decided anything yet. The members and Bang Shiyuk PD Nim are researching together. We have so many things we want to try. There's cool concepts and sexy ones too. So this is Jin saying it's actually us, right? This is us meeting with Bang Shiyuk. We all come together, we discuss it, and that's how we decide. Okay, that's quote number one. That's proof that it's actually them doing it. In this interview in Star One magazine, Suga was asked the same thing. And he said that, oh, this question was a little bit about the process of creating the album. And he said that they, meaning Big Hit, they let us do anything that we want to do. With writing title songs, it has to be catchy and the melody has to be good. So it's not easy to write. Bang PD has been giving us advice on producing music since the trainee period. However, the other songs on the album and mixtapes, he doesn't even touch them. So Bang Shiyuk will only get involved, will only give them advice. He does not do anything. He just gives them advice on what to do for the title track. The rest of the track, it's BTS members that decide it. When they like it, then it's a go. Okay, so nobody's dictating to them what they're going to be doing. In this interview in Rolling Stone magazine, they also mentioned it again. Suga said the big thing about creating our universe, so they were talking about Wayang Yonwa, is its expandability because it draws from our personal lives and interests. We can expand it as much as we want, and it's not alien to us. Having that allows us more diversity in the stories, and we can tell the music that we make it. Okay. So again, he's talking about them doing this, them doing coming together so that they can decide on the concept, not another team. Okay, in this interview back in 2015, Top Star interview, it was RM who talked about it. After the end of Boy in Love promotion, we were thinking about what we were going to do next. Our company suggested that we should extend the story, which is what we were thinking of doing, making it more like a studio album, showing a more mature and grown image. So we decided to go with this theme. So he's making it clear that even before the suggestion of somebody from Big Hit, they were already planning on expanding it into a series, make it a wider story. So we're already thinking about it anyway. And then decided, and so that sort of solidified their plan. In Bridges magazine, January of 2014, I think this is Shoga again saying that I heard that every member participated in composing the songs and writing the lyrics. So he explained how they work. He said it's mostly me, Rapmont, RM, J Hope that are participating in making the music. First of all, the seven of us decide the topic together. So again, he's saying it's them. Okay, not anybody else. We all decide the topic together. We think about what the lyrics goes in a particular beat. We'll gather, the three of us will write the lyrics and then give feedback to the members. And then someone asked, what about the vocal line? And then Jimin said that we suggest, what do you think if I sing it this way? So they'll allow them. And then Suga said, the four vocalists, they know how to sing. They know how to create harmonies. They can actually experiment. So even them, the rap line, they don't interfere with the vocal line. The vocal line is actually the one that's deciding on how to sing parts. Okay, so that's clear. To everyone who's doubting their process, it's very clear. And then another question was, it was asked again, like, how do you decide on the concept? And Jimin said, it's us working together. From the beginning, we discuss with Bang PD. We all come together with different suggestions and we decide. Okay. So anybody who puts the integrity of their creative process in question, this is the answer. From the beginning, ever since they started giving out interviews, they made it clear it is them that's actually deciding on the topics. They come together, they discuss, they go to Bang Shiyuk. When it comes to the songs, Bang Shiyuk only allows himself to provide suggestions on the title track. The rest, they decide. Okay, why? Wow, you're true OG. Where do you keep all of this info? Yeah, I was I've forgotten many of this. It's been so long, 2013, 2014. So many things have happened in my life, so many traumas making me forget certain things. So just because I was researching for the misinformation, that's why I decided to go back to the old content. And then I was also going back to the Begins Youth. So I was like, oh, it would be a good time to actually go back to their old interviews. And I've forgotten that they've given these interviews before already. So this solidifies what I've been saying, that the Wayang Yonwa, my interpretation on the book, because in the book they said that the Wayang Yonwa series is actually the magnum opus of Suga. They said it in the book, Beyond the Story. They said Wayang Yonwa, Suga's masterpiece. And then I interpreted it as to mean that it was his idea. Maybe there was a team who helped him develop the entire thing, them to develop the entire thing, but it was primarily his idea. And reading back to all of these interviews, it sort of confirmed what I've been saying, that it is their idea. 12 years worth of information is a lot to keep in mind. It is a lot to keep in mind. So I will be publishing all of this like one by one as we go along. I have something lined up for Wednesday. Was just fun. They were talking about girlfriends. One of them actually disclosed something about an ex or something. It was fun. But do remember, this was 2014, 2015. They were kids. They didn't probably know what they were talking about. But it was just fun. I think they were just having, just messing around. It was an interview for a Japanese magazine. More often than not, that's like more fun than actually serious. But I'm going to, just because it was fun to read, I'm going to publish it on Patreon so that you guys can, and then I'll just go through my collection one by one. No matter how superficial the interviews are, I'll just publish because it's still a part of their history. This should be a regular segment. Okay, I'll make it a regular segment of the live stream, including their pictures. Oh my gosh. They have like it's so good. Like if you trace the progression of their relationship, it was like it's so different. Like how RM would talk about Suga and how Suga would talk about RM, that the progression of that, how V would actually talk and express himself. You can just see the progression, like the way that it changed, the relationship of Jin and Jungkook, this all of that, the relationship of Jungkook and Jimin, the change and how it grew. It's so different. Yeah. So okay, I'll make this a regular segment. There's a lot. There's whenever I start reading, I would end up sleeping at like 4 or 5 because there's so much to read. And I'm also trying to organize it because when I saved it, I wasn't really trying to organize anything because I was just saving it. Now I'm having a hard. I should have organized it then. It would be easier for me. But anyway, how do I subscribe to membership on your channel? Okay, I'll paste the link here before. Okay, while I get that, do you have any questions? You have any questions before we go? Okay, let me get your membership link. Ah, I should know this, right? But apparently I don't. Okay, give me here. Do you have questions before I go? If you have any suggestions, by the way, just let me know and I will. Oh, there you go. Okay, there. You should see. Good night and thank you. Okay, so that's the link to the membership if you want to be a member. Okay, thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope that you have a great rest of your week. And I wish all of you to have peace of mind. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.